Maria Alejandra Alvarez says, should a Christian use Christian dating apps? I don't see anything wrong with meeting people through these apps, but when I try to use them, I feel guilty. Does the Bible guide us somehow with this? Maria, okay, I'll speak from a personal experience here a little bit. I felt years ago like that I couldn't even do anything intentionally. Now, this is nobody's fault but mine, okay? I'm not blaming other people. This isn't like some big issue with like whatever. But I felt like I shouldn't do anything to pursue getting to know a girl. Or like going to an event, hoping to meet a girl who'd be a Christian girl. Like that would be like weird or wrong. And I think I was mistaken. So now God met me there because, you know, I met my wife without having to do any of that stuff. And we're very happily married. And I'm you know, it's been wonderful. But that being said, the more I've thought about this, and I've thought about this a lot over the years, about like what is proper dating, what is like the boundaries we have as Christians, and I just don't see anything wrong with a Christian going to an event with the express intention of, I'm going to try to meet someone who potentially will be my husband or wife in the future, unless they're stepping into carnality, but assuming those things are not happening, right? I just can't think of anything wrong with it. What about a dating app? Like, well, it depends on how you do it, not whether you do it, right? Like if I'm looking for hookups, that's sinful. If I'm looking for, you know, someone who would be a good match for a future spouse, how is that sinful? I don't see how that's sinful, right? Abraham sent his, people will say like, well, let me give you an example from scripture. Abraham wanted his son, Isaac, to have a wife from their original homeland, right? Not from the Canaanites, but from their homeland. And so he sends off his servant Eliezer, and Eliezer goes, and we get the whole story about how he brings back Rebekah. And some have preached like, well, look, you know, here's Isaac. He does nothing. He just sits in a field. He's like meditating in a field, and there comes Rebekah. Guys, your job is just to meditate on the Lord, and you're not really to seek anybody. And there's elements of truth in that, but let's back up a little bit and let's show what really happened. His dad literally arranged his marriage for him, pursuing a good mate, sending what was meant to be a wise servant to find someone who seemed like they'd be a good mate. He tested her with the whole drinking camels and all this story, if you guys aren't familiar with it, to see if she seemed like she had a good character. Brought her back, right? They have a certain shared culture, and then they get married. This was an arranged marriage, right? This wasn't like him, like, all I was doing was worshiping, and then I got like a word from God, marry her. And that's not what happened here. So I don't think you should feel guilty for this unless you're doing it in a bad manner. That's my opinion about it. I'm also very skeptical about how helpful these apps are, but I do know some people who met and got married through Christian, like, you know, couples apps of some kind, right? And are very happy, and it was a good thing for them. So I'm totally open. I don't think they should be ashamed of that. Those are my thoughts now. Back in the day, I would have been very uncomfortable with it, but I couldn't have told you why. And maybe that's how you feel. I feel uncomfortable, but I don't know why. Well, you know, don't violate your conscience. But if you can ease that conscience there and realize, hey, you know, I could be seeking a godly relationship with a godly person, and it's hard to find somebody around here. So, you know, Abraham sent someone all the way to a homeland to find somebody. You could probably go on an app, I guess.